Alright, welcome everybody to the PCDC ACC League for Round 8, our season finale at Spa. I'll be your director and commentator. My name is Senna. We are going to take a quick look at the track that is Spa today. So, the famous Circuit Spa-Francorchamps is in Stavelot in Belgium. Has 19 turns. 7.004 kilometers long and 4.352 miles long. Conveniently also my home country, so very excited to broadcast this. And then for the race format, today we'll have a 15-minute qualifying that will start in about 4 or so minutes. And then after that we are gonna have a 120-minute race to finish off the season here. So normally we do sprint races and enduros of about 1.5 hour long, but to close out the season we're gonna do a 2-hour race here today. The race will have 2 mandatory pit stops. Fuel and tires are free choice, so whatever the drivers like to do. Maybe they'd like to take a pit stop without tires, take a pit stop with a bit less fuel, a bit more fuel, that's all up to them, and we will have a rolling start. For the championship standings, we have an interesting one. So last time around we declared Lawrence to be the championship winner, but actually for the season finale points are doubled. So we still have the likes of Arabic that could challenge him, but unfortunately Vincent has other events to attend to. And then Arensman is the only person that could realistically challenge Lawrence here, but it would mean that Lawrence would have to have a really bad race for Arensman to make up those 44 points. He would pretty much just have to crash or, land outside the points. So obviously in first with 134 points we have Marcus Lawrence. Then we have Vincent Arabic in second, who's not attending today. Then Arensman in third with 90 points. So, close enough to still get that first position, but it will need a little bit of a miracle. Then Layson in fourth, still in reach of that third position, but again for him, does need quite a miracle for that to happen. Then Denesi in fifth, Taylor in sixth with 57 points. Then we have Njergesh. Then we have Hawa in 8th, De Jong in 9th, Persson in 10th, Valkenburg in 11th, both we have Van den Hudding, Benzel in 13th, we have Daniels in 14th, Wansink in 15th, Puck in 16th, then Ford, then Renikari, then Parnell, then we have Stuffer, then we have Luke Levens-Martins, then we have Harvey, then Howard, then Friedrich with 11 points, Springer also 11 points, Hurst 11 points, then Elms in 27th, then Errol in 28th, Fretwell in 29th, then Short in 30th. So yeah, you can definitely see there over in outside of the, how should I put it, the top 5, literally everything is up for grabs. So if you look at position 8 to 15, those are all, 15, even 16, 17, all of those, they are all within that 50 point space of each other. So anyone, even Colin Tuck from in 16th there, if he has a really good result, he can just jump up all the way to 8th position. So a lot to play for in the midfield, still a lot to play for at the front, but obviously that will require some fortune or misfortune for some of the drivers, which we obviously do not wish on them. We can also take a quick look at the team standings. So Sven Racing from Marcus Lawrence and Benny Benzel in first. Then we have AOSP, I believe is Denesi and Hawa in second, so very solid from them, 106 points. Then we have Spinala right behind them with 99 points. Benny the Bentley in fourth with 93 points. Then Missed Apex with 91. Lexus Race with 51. Team Lot of Mercy with 36. H7K Racing, then Cruising Waffle Racing, then we have Priory Racing, then ARC Motorsport, then Pineapple Racing, then Mad Macalas Racing, and Versailles Racing. So again, you can see here, obviously every team has 2 drivers, or at least the large majority, with a total of 100 points, or no, not 100 points, but how much is it? So the first gets 26, because the drivers get 25 for a win, 1 participation point, and I believe second place gets 22 points, so they do have a good opportunity to still get about, 47, 48 points. So in the team standings, literally everything can happen. Outside of one thing, that Fen Racing definitely won the team standings. So that is very good to know. And then with that being said, I think, well, ASP, Spinala, Benny the Bentley, Mist Apex, they're all really close together, so they'll definitely be fighting for that better finish in the team standings. So is Lord Have Mercy, H7K, Cruising Waffle, Priory Racing, ARC Motorsports. They are also very much together. So yeah, they are very close in the team standings, and they have everything to play for. So with that being said, I think we are going to qualifying now. There we go, on your screen there. So the first drivers will be heading out of the pits. Look here. Who's gotten out so far? On Tuck still in the pits. 15 minutes qualifying, so not a lot of time for our drivers to get that lap in for the endurance. We'll keep on board here with Joshua Layson for a second here. Decided to go with a blue and gold for the final race. So very nice on that Ferrari. But yeah, we'll just keep with the drivers here. Obviously it's 5 a.m. so our drivers will be going from the morning into the day. Apparently they still have their lights on, obviously. Layson, one of the drivers that has really put in good consistent performances, and even though he started a bit late in the season, he still managed to get a lot of good runs there, so that has put him in 4th in the championship standings, which really nice performance from him. You can already see a bit of a train forming as drivers exit the pits. Everyone, of course, with the lap being, I believe it is 2 minutes 19, 20, something like that. People really need to get out and get their qualifying lap in, because obviously they will only have about, depending how much fuel they take, they'll only have about, as people actually seem to have forgotten some fuel, like Joshua Layson. Oh no, he keeps going. So, see if there's other drivers. Stay on board here with Andy Howard in the Pixel Cow Racing Team Porsche. He already gets a bit loose, so obviously morning, quite cold temperatures. I think we have a 25 track degrees, 25 Celsius that is. So quite cold. There'll still be some morning dew on the track, but we'll follow the cow of the Porsche here as he his lap. Nice LED strip on the front there. So right behind him there is Colin Tuck, I believe. We'll take a quick look at him. Oh, I think that was Colin Tuck, his teammate Kevin Ellis, but yeah, just a bit of a heads up. Colin Tuck now changed their brand from Priory Racing. Said he couldn't get the convince of Priory anymore to fund some money, so they have transferred the name to be Danger Dogs Racing. Obviously with a very classic brown and green livery, referring to the game some people might have heard of, also a simulation game, IL-2 Sturbovic. great battles. And obviously you can see it's still a work in progress, but you know, they have some surprises up their sleeve for next season, featuring a fully custom livery, of course, but this is a bit of their transition being announced today in this race. Let's see, there are people that have actually started their lap. Yes, there is. Go on board here, Robbie Hawa. Also a driver who has consistently done well. I feel he also has picked up his pace throughout the season, so definitely a top 5 contender for every race. Together with his teammate Danesi, they're very closely matched on pace. Yeah, so Skull, TRD, who's in the chat, said this league needs classes. It would make things so much more exciting for guys that are not fighting for P1. Well, actually, Skull, we have good news. Next season, after this one, we will introduce classes. So we will have a pro class, a pro am class, and an am class to you know, make that fighting in the midfield and towards the rear a bit more exciting. Obviously, we're still a learning community on the ACC platform, and we have it's the first real season that we've had quite high attendance. So we've seen our numbers go up to 37 in one race. So yeah, we're definitely planning to bring in classes for next season, and depending on, you know, Kunos and their release dates, we are hoping that the GT4s come out by the time we start our next season. Meanwhile, Hawa on his lap here. Take a quick look how he is doing. Doesn't look too bad. I don't think he was on his out lap, so see how he puts in the lap here. Meanwhile, we see Thomas Arensman already putting in his first lap, being a 18.4. Lawrence about 4/10 behind, and Yergesh Ford also squeezing in between there. Harvey, let's see what Hawa does here. Oh, he must have, oh, never mind, the line is right after this bend here. Or he must have maybe invalidated his lap. Yeah, I think that was the case. So Levens Martin's also getting his lap in. People here. Barbie in the concrete cow livery, so here. Doing too bad, I think. Yaragesh also looking to improve. Arensman and Lawrence both looking solid, also looking to improve on their next lap. So Harvey looking pretty solid. Obviously his first lap wasn't a real flyer, but we don't expect that from Harvey. I think if he can manage inside the top 10, it would be a good kind of position for him. Anywhere inside the top 10. I think on race pace as well, a lot of people in the league make a lot up on race pace instead of quali, so see there we can see Nate Grew also in third position now, 7/10 off the leader, so not bad for Nate there, who I believe is having his first race with us. So let's see, Harvey here looking for a very decent improvement. See where that puts him. Still in 8th, but way closer to the guys in front of him than he was. And Lawrence now comes in with a massive improvement. Arensman as well, 2:17.6, while Lawrence is about 4/10 behind that. So those two guys again looking quite close, and I think we'll see them fighting throughout the race probably. So Arensman in the pit. He'll have one more decent shot, I think, at getting the lap in. Yeah. See if anyone else is improving. Domi Person, also looking strong. With a 4/10 improvement so far as he heads into the bus stop. Get an exit right. That looks pretty decent, looking at a 3/10 improvement. But that will not improve his position, but still a solid 5th place for Domi. Everyone else is improving. A bit further down the grid here, Colin Tuck. Ooh, must have gotten a real rough lap in the first time around. Obviously, we're talking about his Danger Dog racing transition, so looking at a 2-second improvement, which is good enough to put him up into 14th, but I'm sure he would want to be a bit more of an improvement. So probably gonna head into the pits, chuck some new tires on, low fuel run. Look here at the front, so Marcus Lawrence also deciding for the last race of the season to go with his golden and black livery, which I must say looks really clean on that Merc. As he comes down here to the bus stop, if he can improve, it will not be enough for overtake Arnsman, but at least it will bring him a tiny bit closer. See where this puts him. Oh yeah, still about 3/10 behind Arnsman there, so Arnsman definitely putting in good performance. If anyone else is improving, I think John Ford here is worth mentioning, in 7th at the moment, but going into the bus stop, he is about 9/10 up, 2nd up. See what he does when he comes across the line. This will be a massive improvement for him. John Ford into 5th, that's a really good starting position for Ford right there. So yeah, he'll be really pleased with that if he can hold on to that. Meanwhile, we have someone else coming around the last bend, then the form of Domi Person. We're looking to improve. Can he? No, I think he got the bus stop a tiny bit wrong. Oh, someone else improving. Andy Howard in the cow of a Porsche. So yeah, we're definitely seeing some more people coming out with custom liveries. We also hope to have a livery pack for next season, so that we have a lot of unique and pretty to look at skins on the grid. We've already seen that there's a bunch of creative people in our group, so that'll be interesting to see. Still about 3 minutes left. Howard here looking at about a 3/10 improvement so far. If he can get the bus stop right, that'll move him up into the top 10, which he is looking to do. Bus stop looking very clean. Might actually move him up into 9th. Ooh. A 2400ths off of Norton there. Oh yeah. Just barely squeezing inside the top 10 there for Howard. Meanwhile, Norton in 9th, also looking at a good improvement here. Norton being from the US. Going with a yellow and gray and light blue, or baby blue, for his Ferrari. Doesn't look bad. Oh yeah, he's was looking at a improvement, but unfortunately lost quite a bit of time. I can see also now that Hawa has actually placed himself up in 4th. Meanwhile, we're looking at Layson here, who's looking at a very good improvement, but he will have one more lap after this one. So far, looking at a decent improvement of about 1.5 seconds. He's still, to get inside that top 5, he needs a little bit more, and he is trying to push to get there. Going on to the long back straight. Go on board here with Layson. Let's see if he can get the bus stop right. Oh, that is not supposed to happen. Sorry. Alright, does seem to hook it up quite nicely. 2.1 seconds up. That'll be quite good for him. See where he ends up. Yes, very nice from Layson. Puts him right up into 4th, so I think he'll be happy with that. Layson also proven to be very consistent on race pace, so hopefully he can show us that again today. You see a couple of people towards the back struggling a bit more, likes of Fassbender, Levins, Martins, Tuck, all seem to be not that acquainted with the track. We need slightly more practice, but obviously we're all here to have some fun, and we do allow everyone to race with us as long as they can bring the car safely around the track, and I know those guys can do that, so props for them to show up every week for us, and yeah, it would really be nice to see that. Well, it's gonna be nice to see that those different classes coming in the form of Pro-Am and Am, so that those guys really have kind of a championship for their own to, you know, because it might be a bit discouraging being towards the rear. But yeah, I think that will definitely help in competitiveness and these kind of battles towards the back of the grid. So Layson not necessarily looking at an improvement. Who is looking at an improvement is Marcus Lawrence, and if he hooks up the bus stop, about 2/10 up on his time. Arnsman is not doing a lap anymore, so if Lawrence hooks up the bus stop here, he's looking to do that. Looks really clean. He might just snatch this off of Arnsman here in the death. Oh, it's gonna be really close. Oh, 1500 separating Thomas Arnsman and Marcus Lawrence. So really nice lap there on the end, on the death for Marcus Lawrence. But again, guys separated by only a couple, well, 100th technically, you know, and 15 thousandths of a second, I should say. So yeah, that's crazy. So as you can see, qualifying has ended. So we will take a short break, and we will be back with you in about 5 minutes, and we'll run down the full grid for you and get the race started. So see you right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we're gonna do the full grid rundown here for you. Unfortunately, we have Marcus Lawrence here in the commentator's box with us because he lost connection as the grid was lining up. That is
yeah, I managed to take pole right at the end, and I just lost connection to the server, so
yeah, so
the show must go on.
Very unfortunate, but unfortunately we do have to continue on. So, well, in first place then we will have Thomas Arnsman. In second place we have Nate Drew. In third place we have Joshua Layson. Fourth we have Nicolas Bossele. Then we have Rabi Hawa in fifth. Balin Yergesh sixth. John Ford in seventh. In eighth we have Domi Pearson. Then we have Harvey in ninth. Jordan Wansink in 10th. We have Howard in 11th. Alpha Lobster in 12th. 13th we have Adam Norton in the Ferrari, a newcomer. Then in 14th we have KJ Elms. Then we have Dustin Dawes, Carl Longmobile. Then we have Colin Tucker in 16th. 17th we have Fassbender. Then we have Luke Levens Martin in 18th, and to round off the grid we also have another newcomer, which is the Kryptonite. So obviously, Echo, between you and Arnsman, it looked to be again an insanely close race. Looking at the pace from both of you.
Yeah, it's really gutting that this happened, because it was going to be a real fun race for me between us.
Yeah.
Especially as this race is double points as well, because it's like double the length as our usual races.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gutting. So if he wins, I think he will win the championship from me.
Yeah. So as the grid is bunching up here, the Arnsman are gonna start the race at any moment now.
They start around this.
Oh, they start right
corner.
behind the bend. Right. Obviously, everyone bunching up, everyone looking ready to go. Arnsman, due to the disconnect of Lawrence, in a very good position here. But we have to see if he can hold it on for 2 hours. Grid is nicely bunched up. We're waiting the green.
Green light. Go.
So green light, and we're off for round 8 of the PCDC ACC League, our season finale, as a crew gets a very good run up through Eau Rouge and Radion, but Arnsman actually overtakes him right after again. Crew will have a very good run into the next session, hopefully. So interesting to see Nate Crew. Lawrence also a newcomer.
Yeah.
So he's not
he
doing
seemed
bad.
Seemed pretty quick from the times he was posting earlier.
Yeah, so far looking very decent. I think everyone got through pretty cleanly. Dustin Dawes there. We have Fassbender behind him in 16th, looking for an opportunity. We also have the Danger Dogs with 2 cars in between them.
It looks like that Lexus has damage as well. I'm seeing scrapes on the side. I don't know if he's had contact with anyone.
That would be Nerdish.
No, Jez?
Yes.
Yeah, on the right side of his car. There's some damage, it's like.
Yeah, so might have had a little bit of a bump going up into Eau Rouge and Radio there. But looks to be not that severe. Well, at least I hope not for him. So yeah, everything's really close together. Obviously, with on Spa here with the long back straight, people can make use of slipstream here quite a lot going into the bus stop. And obviously for some of the power cars like the Lexus and the Merc is probably a pretty decent track. The Aston as well, I think. But then again, I think the track is a very good mix of a little bit of everything. Ooh, as a very late dive there.
That was a very big night day, yeah.
Yeah, Adam Norton obviously seen his mistake there and gives up the positions, but he... Oh,
That's another.
that was a bad rejoin there. So not the best opening there from Adam Norton. Although I do think on that second one he did give a lot of space there, even though he rejoined. He did give enough space for the people around him to recognize that he was there. Runs down to
I think a few cars are a little bit out of position here as well. Alpha Lobster is a quick guy and he's in 11th. I expect him to, as he's side by side right now, Nurgis.
Yeah, so side by side with Nurgis, like he said.
Side.
He's gonna try and hold it there. He does. And Nurgis is still there on the inside.
Job done.
Yep, very nice from Alpha. Yeah, I think Alpha joined in a bit last second. So,
yeah, I think he might be a little bit underprepared, but as soon as he gets a few laps under his belt at the beginning of this race, he's going to build his pace quite quickly.
yeah, and obviously we do have 2 hours to go, so a lot of time for him to get up to speed and charge a bit more towards the front. Meanwhile, we have Arnsman, who's already pulled a bit of a lead over Gru. Not too much, though. Which seems to be keeping him honest, but 1 second between the two, so... Yeah, Nate Gru as a newcomer, definitely a bit of a surprise here.
Yeah, we always welcome the competition. I hope he can challenge Arnsman, for my sake.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very long race. Anything can happen.
Yeah, so people are asking why you are commentating, so but MDK already answered. So Marcus did have a disconnect right as the grid was lining up, so unfortunately cannot partake anymore.
Yeah, it happened about a minute and a half left on the timer, and I got a server disconnect. But the show must go on.
Yes, exactly, but I mean, I think the only mathematically, I think you have to hope basically for Nate here to get into first. I think the only way you lose is if Arnsman comes in first, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Because I think Arnsman...
So even if he...
Yeah, go ahead.
Even if he gets second, the double points still wouldn't overtake me then.
Yeah, I don't quite know how the participations... But remind me again, how much points does the second place get?
Oh, let me check.
Because I think he's on 90 and you're on 36, but I'm not quite sure how many points...
Oh, I think I just saw Alpha Lobster on the side of the barrier then.
Yeah, he's
the BMW at least.
Yeah, he's dropped back quite far, so...
Yeah, on the I saw him after A Rouge. I think he just missed it. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he has heavy damage on the right front of his car, so I think he might have gone off in a Rouge or something, because...
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, we didn't quite catch the moment where it went wrong, but yeah, very...
Yeah. Might have snapped on him.
Yeah, the BMW is a really nervous car if you're you don't have it set up all right, so that might have been the case.
That's why I kind of thought like the 2 mandatory pit stops will mix things up a little bit. Like even if you have a mistake or you have damage, you can always come back from it.
Yeah, very true. So at least I guess we will see him going into the pits here. And obviously after he's done that first pit stop, there's definitely I mean, technically you would only need 1 pit stop for this race, right? If
Yes.
there wasn't the mandatory one, so...
That is correct, yeah.
he will only lose the time he has lost this lap then from that crash. Obviously, later into the race, he will probably struggle a little bit more with his tires. Other people can space that out a bit more and have some fresher tire. But I do think we might see some people trying to double stint some tires.
Looks like a nice battle between P4 and 5. Howard and Bossa, they've got a run side by side.
Yeah, looking good. So Hawa and Bossele. So Hawa gets the best of that. I do not know who was ahead there, but
I think Howard was already ahead. I think the Porsche is chasing him.
yeah. So Bossele definitely looking quite racy as well. But with his last lap being a 19.5, it's about a second faster than Hawa's last lap. So yeah, Bossele also a new face, I think, in the community. So
yeah, we've got a few new faces here. It's really good to see.
yeah, so good to see that the new guys coming in are also quite competitive.
And Gru is keeping Aronsman very honest. What, only 1.7 behind. It's not an easy walk away for Thomas Aronsman.
Yeah, and I might expect we might even see towards the end of the stints maybe I expect the Porsche to be a little bit better than the Aston on tires, so that might come into play at some point. Look here, further down the grid. I think the most interesting thing here is Hawa and Bossele really. So Bossele with a really good run as they're heading down the back straight. Might try something into the bus stop because we all know the Porsche has really short braking distances. Might try it, shows his car there on the inside, but do it just yet. Worth noting as well, those two, Hawa and Bossele, are both catching up to Layson as well. That might be interesting. Battle for third place.
Yeah, this might get interesting. Two Mercs as well, Ford and Harvey are stuck together. Yeah, there's nice little battles developing right now.
Yeah, it seems like a couple of the newer people have kind of closed the gaps in some, like pace-wise in some parts of the grid, so we are seeing...
P9 and 10, very, very close. He has a run out the end of Eau Rouge.
Oh yeah, one sync here. A very good run on the Lexus, but obviously the Lexus being a absolute beast on the straight.
Oh, I thought he might have outbroken himself then, but he kept it.
This is, one sync tries on the inside, but Jurgis gives him the space, but obviously very hard to pull off there. But obviously these Sector 2 and the beginning of Sector 3 is very much where the Porsche will be in the advantage, I think, or have the advantage over the...
Yeah, Porsche doesn't
Lexus.
have very good top end. It's, yeah, it's Sector 2 in the middle is much better suited to it.
Yeah. So even if one sync would get an overtake here, he'll still struggle to keep ahead on the back straight going into the bus stop, obviously.
Elmsen is getting involved as well.
Yeah, so a lot of really tight battles everywhere. Let's see, back to Rawi Hawa here with Bossele right behind him. Going in to the bus stop. Bossele has a very good run here. Is right on the back of Hawa, so we see him make a move. Again, just showing his car, but not quite enough. Not quite enough. One sync dropped back now from Nergish a little bit, and actually has Elms now to contest with for E10. Plenty of action here as the sun is rising over over Spa Francorchamps here. I don't know, Marcus, you keep a bit more up to date with this, but I assume Kunos hasn't released anything yet about the GT4s or whatever.
No, the last time we had something was end of June. That was from Aris's streams, but since then, not really heard anything. I think the console release is their priority right now, and I would assume once that's launched, I think it's next week, we'd definitely start to see some teasers. I think for GT4.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're all hoping to. The surprise to be that they release it alongside the console. That would be.
Yeah, that would be the dream.
but I imagine they would,
like...
yeah, give us some trailers and stuff for us before.
Yeah, they always seem to like tease it and then the next week just drop it like out of nowhere all the time.
Oh, so Andy Howard there with a mistake running very wide in Brussels, which allows Niergish to get in front of him, and Wansink also having a better run here. If Howard goes defensive, doesn't do so, which will allow Wansink to go for the move on the inside, but doesn't quite manage it.
Or he might have a better exit.
Oh yeah, Howard there again with a very wide line. Wansink here in the middle sector. Who's on the inside? Is gonna pull it off. Still side by side. Howard then getting quite a good run. The two of them, but Wansink pulls just ahead of Howard.
Got this. He can do the cutback, he get a better exit.
Oh, nice little move there, but it has allowed Niergish to get some clean air. And we also have Elms right up the back of Andy Howard. Actually has a really good run as well. Obviously the Aston quite a bit faster than the Porsche. I do think we'll see a move here from Elms. Into the braking. No, not quite. Something else here. Again, Bossele for E4 with Hawa. Again, Bossele, a really good run.
They are stuck together for a while now.
Yeah, if Bossele can follow through cleanly here. Obviously, very hard to follow through Rouge and Radio. If you're a chasing car, obviously,
yeah,
downforce isn't working with you at that point anymore. Yeah, we can very much see that in effect here. But again, middle sector very strong for the Porsche, as we do see Bossele pulls it right up again. So it does seem like Alpha Lobster is also disconnected from the race, so maybe he had a bit too much damage or made another mistake, not quite sure.
Who was that, sorry?
Alpha Lobster. Yeah,
no.
Disconnected, so might have had another mistake somewhere.
I don't know what happened to Domi as well. I swear he was in this race, and he looks like he's dropped out.
Yeah, he's totally went by my radar. But yeah, that's very well noticed, because I think he actually... I want to say he was around like 5th or 6th or something on the grid.
He started 10th. I'm just going to watch his replay and see what happened to him.
Yeah, strange. He also disconnected, so... So Bossele still...
Oh, he lost it in Eau Rouge.
Oh, Eau Rouge, yeah.
On lap 2.
That's the killer for a lot of people, I think. There was that was that season 1 where it was me and you in the Bentley?
Yes.
I think you had an oopsie as well on Spa, right?
I did.
Radio Rouge, so...
I think I've had an oopsie in quite a lot of races actually.
Yeah, it very much seems to be very high-speed corners where you seem to lose it, if you lose it at any point during the race. So not that good of a experience with 130R. Not a great experience with Radio and Eau Rouge, so. Yeah, so the same kind of scenarios going on here between Hawa and Basile. So Hawa always gets a better run in Sector 1, and then Basile closes right up into in the middle sector again, and then loses quite a bit of time into the third sector again. So you guys be fighting the whole race. Meanwhile, Thomas Arensman in first, hold a little bit of a gap now to Gru. But to be fair to Nate Gru there, as coming into the league for his first race, he is doing very well there. So far, obviously no one pitted yet. Yeah, maybe I've jinxed you, Marcus.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I was saying during the start there that pretty much, like, all that would... the only thing that could ruin, like, your championship run would be if you didn't score any points at all, so...
Yeah, commentator's curse right there.
Yeah. I did say I obviously didn't wish it upon you, so I mean, that's something, right?
Yeah. It looks like Arensman's pulled about 5 seconds now, so
Yeah, it seems like
he's
Nate...
got a nice gap at the moment.
Yeah, so Nate off to a really good start, and it seems like when following Arensman he was just a tad quicker. But still Nate good at putting in good pace, still extending that gap between him and P3 being Laysan and Hawa, but we do see Hawa and Basile still going at it, and they're actually slightly faster than Joshua Laysan here, so this will soon be a battle, three-way battle here for P3. Will be very interesting to see. Oh yeah, someone in the chat was also saying that we should make classes for you know, to have people finding for a bit more out towards the back, and I would say we were planning on implementing that for next season.
We've spoken about that. I think it's a real good idea.
Yeah, definitely. It does give that kind of a bit more incentive for players towards the back, or drivers towards the back to stay in the race and just keep on racing.
Yeah, we need to see how this the DLC plays out as well. If it's going to be coming out soon or not, we're not really sure what we're going to be doing for next season. Possibly, like, we might have to be forced into GT3 only again. Do we do GT4 only, or do we do multi-class? All these questions, and we're not actually sure yet, but we want to do classes for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine as well, if GT4 doesn't quite release on the date that we expect it to do, or around the date, then I do assume we will have a bit of a shorter season, maybe, right?
Yeah, I would expect so. Yeah.
Just to not fully lose out on the GT4 experience.
Yeah, we always have say like 2-3 weeks break anyway. So what's that? So it's 1, 2. So we're looking at maybe like middle of July, probably for the start, 18th possibly.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of area where GT4 was supposed to be released. So we'll see what happens. But like all the back end stuff, like spreadsheets and things, we get all that sorted, ready for it to drop.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really excited to get some new cars in ACC.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
Like a new class.
Yeah, new class especially, but me, I don't think I've ever seen a game that has actually fully featured a GT4 class. So
That's true.
I could be wrong, but I don't even think Project Cars 4 had a full GT4 class, so...
No. Yeah, it did have a good few amount of GT4 cars,
Yeah.
but it was I think the VOP was very bad.
Oh yeah, sure.
Pretty sure it was Ginetta that was really quick there, and most of the other cars weren't.
Yeah, I'm just
That's what I love about ACC is you can be competitive with all the cars.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I'm actually very excited to see the KTM in its
Yeah.
GT4 form. That's
yeah, that's insane. I can't.
yeah. For me, it's like I'm very much a fan of like prototypes and stuff. So the KTM
Yeah.
really fills in that like gap in like a lower class where it really looks like some kind of spaceship that's going around.
I'm looking forward to the Camaro.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'll be good.
I like big cars,
Yeah, I
and I
mean,
think the
yeah, go ahead.
Camaro is the boatiest GT4 so far.
Yeah. I mean, even seeing like the, you know, like the GT4 McLarens and Audis and all that stuff is gonna be great.
Yeah.
You know, having more kind of road cars.
Yeah, they're a lot closer to road cars than the GT3s for sure. And I think the racing will just be so much more closer as well. With,
Yeah, definitely.
being a slower class and less aero, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So in the meanwhile, Bossele actually got
Still
past Layson.
right. Yeah, they're still right together.
So Bossele, surely, ooh, Layson with a really good run out of Radion there. So he'll surely beat him on the straight here because the Porsche really struggles on the straight. They'll go side by side. If he can pull it off. Layson's still there, holding it very well around the outside there. Bossele actually, with a small mistake, the rear bit loose and Layson slides in right ahead. It also allows Howard to close right back up, so these three done nose to tail the entire way, I think.
I'm really intrigued to see what strategies people are going to run as well. And how much fuel everyone's running.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting because the two mandatory sub does allow for a lot of different strategies. You know, you could see people taking tires twice or only one time.
Yeah, I was personally going to stop halfway, take fuel and tires, and then do like a splash and dash, like minimum pit stop time. Right, take 1 liter or something.
Yeah.
That's what I was planning to do. But you could do pit like every 40 minutes or so. But I still don't think that's worth it. I mean, everyone's got to pit twice, so it's not like you lose more time than pitting, because I know Spa's got one of the longest pit lanes.
Yeah, it definitely seems to me that the strat would definitely be to just run, well, do a little bit of a splash the first time, run a little bit longer on the tires, and then, or, you know, run that second stint on the same tires, and then the third one you put some new ones on, or, you know, put new ones on at your first pit stop and then just run to the end.
Yeah. Now Lexus has caught up to Harvey as well, and I think OneSync is closing in as well.
Down Ford anywhere close to them? No, not really. So yeah, OneSync and irrigation. Harvey looking at a battle here soon. Keep an eye on
Yeah,
the
looks like
fight
they're
with
slowly
the
catching. OneSync's on his best lap at the moment. He's 10th up on his fastest, so I think he's gaining some pace the more laps he's putting in.
Yeah, Harvey seems to be dropping off a little bit here, pace-wise. Might have just made a little mistake, but yeah, they're through Brussels as well, struggling a little bit. So he's having some firewire issues, or just maybe pushed a little bit too hard on those front tires. Yeah, definitely Nergish closing up fast now. Always one think. Oh, Vincent is in the chat as well. I don't know if Vincent has already done his race,
hello.
but
I'm not sure actually.
I assume he has, because about half a second here. Oh, Nergish really closing up on their braking here. Onto the back of Harvey, also one sync, really good on the brakes there, so Harvey is going to be in a bit of a precarious situation here soon.
Oh no, they've still got 40 minutes left of the race department race, so I don't know what's happened to Jim. He must have... something must have happened.
Yeah. Sure, feel free if you want Jim to join us in here, if you would have the time. It's nice to have some more people to talk with.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a nice battle for P3 and P6. We're in little groups of 3 at the moment.
Yep, so we do see Harvey here. Definitely dropped off a bit in pace, and Nergish one sync. I mean, I would assume that they're gonna strike here within the next couple of laps. Oh, Harvey again running wide in Purcell there, so that allows Nergish to go through. One sync will probably be on the back there again. Harvey really, really struggling now, it seems, for grip. One sync there, right on the back. Really trying to show his nose a little bit.
Oh, you got a nice exit then. See if you can use the slipstream. I don't know, call this the happy hour at Spa, the sunrise. This is when the conditions are supposed to be at its fastest during a 24-hour race.
Alright.
I can't remember what it was. There was a documentary about Spa. I can't remember where it was, but yeah, it was from that. All the drivers call the sunrise the happy hour, where it's all grippy and the temperatures are nice and cool. Cars are working at their optimum.
Yeah, so again, battle for P3 here. Bossele got a really nice run out of Radio, but again, the Porsche really struggling on the straight. Yeah. Hawa with a little mistake there. When he's closing up. Yeah, nice little drift there from Hawa. Saw some sparks flying off. That's all for cinematic purposes. Yeah, Bottele really all over Layson here, but these two can't seem to get rid of each other. Layson actually runs a bit wide there. Yeah, I do think Bottele really needs to try to get that move done into right after Radio, into that third corner. Oh, he actually goes on the inside here as Layson runs a bit wide. Can hold it. Not quite. No.
Oh, I think Aarons has pitted.
Oh, he had. Wait.
He has. He's taken a pit stop.
Okay, so
Half an hour in.
half an hour in, yeah.
That is interesting.
So yeah, you would expect him to run a little bit longer on those tires. I don't know if he's gonna
Let me
run
see if
the
he-
race out now on the, because I imagine he'll fit new tires now, and go till the end. Just go in for a splash or something. But yeah, strange.
Yeah, I'm intrigued how much fuel he was running.
Yeah. Maybe he was initially just looking to get, run on a bit lower fuel to get away from the
Yeah,
pack,
build a
and then hope he comes out in clean air once he gets out of the pit again. Obviously, Spa also an insanely long pit, because it's the 24-hour pit, I think, right? So an insanely long time to spend in the pit road itself. But yeah, let's see here. Will that battle for
I don't think Aronsman changed tyres because I don't think it was quite 30 seconds. So I think it was just fuel.
yeah, so surely now Beausoleil has a really good run here. Surely we'll see him try and make a move here. No, he doesn't actually. Awa looking optimistic, but not quite having the overspeed there. Yeah, Beausoleil just being patient, and this is one of those times where you might wonder, like, for someone like Beausoleil, because I think he's slightly faster, he might, might it be better for him to pit now and try to get some clean air, build some pace?
Yeah, if you're stuck up in traffic like this, you've got 2 mandatory stops to do anyway, so if you feel like you can go faster and clean air, then you can do an undercut and try and beat them that way.
Yeah,
It's not as fun that way though.
and meanwhile, we do have Levens Martin in 10th position, who's gotten a drive-through, so that's unfortunate for him.
Oh, that's probably due to track limits.
Yes.
Going off way too many times.
Yeah, because I think, drive-throughs are pretty much only for track limits, right? I think if it's like...
Yeah, I think in-game, like assigning drive-throughs is only for track limits. I know you can live steward these kind of things, and you can apply time penalties and drive-throughs to cars manually through the server commands, but we are not doing that currently.
So Hawa now actually on the back of Layson as he lost out to Beausoleil there. Beausoleil did get past. Now Hawa right on the back.
Pits as well.
Alright, so Nate Grew also deciding to pit, and we'll now see how well these guys have practiced their pits, because we know a picture-perfect pit stop, or stop position we should say, can net you a lot of seconds. We'll see how Grew comes out compared to Aronsman. Yeah, like I said, Beausoleil looking really strong now. He got past Layson and isn't... Ooh, Hawa there, going off at the top of Radion.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
A quick look at that.
That is code brown.
Yes. We're coming out of turn 1. Very... Hawa.
Roof catching a lot of people out at the moment, including myself in the race a couple of weeks back. Oh, he took too much curb on the inside.
Yeah, so just taking a little bit too much curb there on the inside, and that's enough to make you go around. So hopefully it wasn't too big of a hit. We should see him pitting now this lap, and hopefully he can repair a lot of that damage.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too long of a repair.
Yeah, exactly.
Still a long race.
Yep, unfortunate for Hawa, but he was also looking strong, so I think we'll see him coming back after he's made that pit stop, probably. Yeah, meanwhile, Beausoleil, really good.
Yeah, he's pulled a gap to Lechon now. 3 seconds now. Yeah, he's got some serious pace right now.
I don't know what exactly went wrong for Nate Grew there, but I don't know if you see the gap there between him and Arnsman. It's now up to, let's see, how much is that?
Oh yeah.
About 22 seconds, so he must have had a bad pit stop there, or possibly, you know, could have taken tires compared to Arnsman.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be it.
Or a little bit more fuel, it's all a possibility. Yeah, but Arnsman immediately went out of pit and really he's 2 seconds up on his best time so far. 0.1 seconds actually, I think. Yeah, looking really fast now, Arnsman, when he came out of the pits. Meanwhile, Beausoleil really upping the pace quite a bit, so we will see him challenge Arnsman at some point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Grew was in the pits for longer than 30 seconds. I'm not sure if he had any slight damage that he also needed to repair.
Yeah, at this point in time, Beausoleil is actually faster than Arnsman, but obviously Arnsman will be on a heavier fuel load, I imagine, at this point.
Yeah, I don't think Arnsman changed tyres, whereas Grew did.
Yeah.
But we'll see how this plays out. We've still got to do one more pit stop.
Yep, exactly. We now see Elms coming into the pit, Fassbender also in the pit. Meanwhile, we still have Nicolas Beausoleil running at the front, pulling a gap now over Layson and Hawa. Hawa, funnily enough, hasn't decided to pit yet after his mistake there, so maybe not impacting his car too much. Kryptonite now also coming into the pit.
Yeah, the balance doesn't feel too bad. I think you can still drive around. I think you'll just be a bit slower on the straights.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, it did seem like he did slow down quite a bit before he hit the barrier, so maybe not quite as much damage as someone that would, you know, go head-on into it or at full speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beausoleil.
So one sink and Harbin is very close as well.
Oh, Harvey now actually into the pit. Preview for one sink there. Most of the guys running in front now still having to pit, of course. I think our net leader is still Arnsman. But yeah, very interesting to see how all the strategies are going to play out here, because
yeah, I wasn't expecting people to pit like that early. So yeah, it seems everyone's doing their own thing.
Yeah, I imagine the people pitting now is going to be for fresh tires, and then just are going to do a splash at the end. Well, I would assume at least. Now with the pits still in steam. Oh, so we do have Nate Grew here. That is catching up to Andy Howard now. Howard hasn't pitted yet, Grew has, so obviously Grew was running second before he pitted. He'll be looking to get past Howard as soon as possible. So it seems like he will do on the straight here. Yeah, so interesting to see, for me at least, that Beausoleil is really definitely picking up his pace, although his last lap now was a 20.7, but he has been running 19s for the past couple of laps, so which is faster than our leader. Obviously, Beausoleil still has to pit, but
that's interesting.
yeah, he might
I think he's done probably the strategy that I was going to do is just full fuel and tires maybe until the hour point, and then yeah, just change tires and fuel again, and then maybe just splash and dash at the end. He's
yeah,
going deeper than a lot of others.
yeah, definitely be interesting to see for Beausoleil here, but yeah, really good pace so far, and very challenging to our net leader, so hopefully that'll become a battle throughout the race. So far, with a lot of people having pitted now, there's no real battles going on.
Yeah, now he's got into clear air. He's managed to get very dialed in.
So, interesting name for Nicolas Beausoleil for his team. Says we shite. So, as he does mess up his corner there. So maybe it's referring to that.
Well, that must be a track limits warning, maybe.
Yeah, it depends. I think he didn't really gain any time, so
Yeah, that is true.
hopefully it doesn't.
That's a very welcome change for ACC.
Yeah, I do think the track limits are quite well done on ACC, where it calculates if you actually gain time with a cut or running wide, instead of actually just being like, oh, you're outside the line. That's a track limit violation.
Yeah, I mean there was a few corners that if you went wide and you would actually go into the gravel, I think Zorda, one of them, I think turn 3 or 4 or one of them, you went wide, the gravel was right there, and it would still give you a warning even though it was very disadvantaged to go there.
Okay, so interesting. Beausoleil actually coming into the pit this lap. So not gonna go quite until the hour mark, but definitely looking to, I guess, get a fresh pair of tires on, or a fresh set of tires, I should say, and then probably a splash at the end. So, yeah, very decent performance from Beausoleil so far. Take a look here with Arnsman and actually see how far the difference is going to be between him and Beausoleil. I do think Beausoleil is still quite a bit behind Arnsman.
Yeah, he is. There must be something different in the pit stops, because I don't think there was any mistakes anywhere that I could see.
Yeah, that's something I would like to see get changed a bit in ACC, where it's just kind of a general area you have to be in, because it does seem that there's still a bit of quite a bit of time to gain in lining up your car perfectly in the pit stop.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely an art to it.
Beausoleil is still in the pit. Insanely long pit, obviously. Yeah, still quite a bit behind there, so not looking to challenge anytime soon. Arnsman, yeah, running very comfortably in a net P1, you could say. Still, we have in front of him, we have Layson, Nergish, and One-Sink, all still looking to pit. Layson actually pulled quite a gap to Nergish. So did Beausoleil before the pit to Layson, so... Arnsman actually struggling a bit now behind the back marker. Might be due to his tire wear at this point, I assume. Still about 1 minute 13 to go.
Yeah, Aronsman's doing 220s at the moment. Well, that's his last lap at least. I think he must be on old tyres.
Yeah, it's very much. Yeah, I saw earlier during the wrap was well behind a back marker. He was very much struggling to keep his car straight. So, and on exits of corners especially. So, definitely pushing those tires, I think. To the brink. Yeah, so at 21.3 now, he did have to overtake a back marker, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of pace Beausoleil can pull out, even though he's quite a bit behind. Yeah, so interestingly now, Dave Grew also putting in very decent laps, so I assume he has also put fresh tires on. We'll take a quick look here as well for someone running at the back here being Adam Norton. So obviously a newcomer in the league. Got off to a pretty decent start. Does seem to be struggling a bit now, but he's keeping going, so that's what we like to see. Norton doing well. Someone also hanging in there is Dustin Dawes. Also served his first pit stop. It's now his second race with us. It's happy to represent the Carl Longa Motorsport liveries, which each their own taste, of course. But he did make somewhat of a custom skin, but I didn't manage to get it in for this race. Unfortunately, he was a bit late. Let's hope he keeps going with that kind of livery for next season. Definitely makes him stand out.
Yeah, it's a shame I couldn't race with my special livery for this race.
Yeah, that was also looking really good. I thought with the black and gold, really nice. And then maybe we would have had someone to actually challenge Aronsman, because at this rate it looks like you might lose your championship in the dumbest way possible.
Yeah. I mean, this stuff happens though. It's a bit like a mechanical failure. It can happen in real life.
Yeah. I mean, at least you were there. So it's not like you can
I
blame
don't think
it
I
on
would have
yourself.
won if Jim was still here as well then.
Yeah, Jim actually up until, oh man, I think it was round 6 or 5, he was still within like 10 points of you.
Exactly.
Just from his first, how many races did he win at the start? Was it 3? Or I think he won 3 in a row at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all know Jim is completely dominant if he prepares for the race.
Yeah.
Very hard to challenge. Although you did, at some points in the season, you guys have had a good few scraps.
Yeah, I have enjoyed the battles for sure.
But yeah, it would be interesting to see, of course, how he, for instance, would handle the GT4s and see if he can actually be so dominant in those as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I think it's a very different way of driving the GT4s. A lot more reliant on mechanical grip instead of downforce.
Yeah. I think even back in the Project Cars 2 days, when we did the support leagues in the Ginetta and the Formula Rookie, I think I won both of those championships. I think I'm more suited to slower classes. I'm hoping that the GT4s will be the same.
Yeah, I mean it's very much a thing because I do know that. I mean, for instance, some people can't get accustomed to driving LMP1s and LMP2s.
Yeah.
Because it's like a whole different way of driving compared to, let's say, GT3s and all that.
Yeah, it's the same with the. I think when we did the LMP2s and GTEs a season, I think in Project Cars 2 as well.
Yeah.
Bill Kerman, untouchable. I could not get close to him. Then put me in the GT3s, and I was a lot closer. And in the GTE season as well, I was battling with him.
Yeah, there's one of those things. I do also believe though that I don't know if it was LMP2, but unless you had the same car, I think the BOP in LMP2 was also a bit skewed.
I did have the same car. No, I have no
Oh, okay.
excuse.
No excuse then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bad. That's all.
Yeah. It was terrible.
So Kryptonite with a little spin there after the first big straight, but he's still hanging on in 13th there. Still two people yet to make their pit stop, Niergish and OneSync, so they're carrying on for a long time. Yeah, both doing some Niergish 21.5 last lap and OneSync 21 dead, so...
Yeah, they're still stuck together at the moment.
Oh, OneSync there with a very generous line going up already on there. It was a very straight line, I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see as well, I think, towards the end of the race. See if any penalties come into play, because
Yeah.
I assume there is going to be people that have already exceeded track limits maybe once or twice, so...
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Nearly at the halfway mark, 4 minutes away. This is when I would have expected people to do their first pit stop.
Yeah.
This is when I was going to do my first pit stop.
Yeah, so very alternative strategies being run here by Niergish and OneSync then, compared to the rest of the field, of course. We'll see if it pays off for them early at this point. I think Niergish must be struggling a little bit on his tires, because I know the Lexus... Isn't the Lexus quite bad on the tires now with the Nasty Flex updates and stuff?
Yeah, apparently the front's getting eaten. But it's not a car I've personally ever raced with, actually.
Yeah, me neither. All I did know that I was OP at Nürburgring the first season that we did.
Yeah.
But that was obviously before they
I remember.
before they implemented I think it was before the new tires, like the 5-point contact and the chassis flex.
Yeah, yeah, that was the Side Max guys in the Lexus that won that race.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they had a P1 and 2, no?
Yeah, they were miles ahead of us. They were like
Yeah.
a minute at least ahead of us, I think. So Niergish now coming into the pit. So as you predicted, I mean, the same strat as you would have used. OneSync deciding to keep going. It does seem that OneSync was still picking up his pace a little bit, but that being said, he did do a 22 last lap, so probably has to make his pit pit stop sooner rather than later as well. So Arnsman currently running laps in the 20s. Yeah, still very interesting to me is that Bossele is still putting in, I mean, very fast laps, doing low 19s now, so I don't think we need to, we can't really sleep on Bossele, because last lap he was more than a second faster than Arnsman, so he could actually, at this rate, still catch up.
I think, yeah, Aronsman definitely didn't change tyres in his first pit stop. Whereas Bossele did, I would assume.
Yeah, it would be, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out towards the end, because I do think, you know, the Porsche is one of the cars that does a bit better on the tires, because of the balance on the car. I think front-engine cars are always a bit more prone to tire wear in long runs. But, yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, Bossele really steady pace. Arnsman not quite at that pace, but obviously a very good start from him. And we'll see with the next pit stop if his pace dramatically increases. So Wansink still running. He comes in now. Yep.
Yep, he's coming in now.
Okay, so he is gonna elect to go for a splash at the end, I assume. Well, I guess like he would only need to really he would only need to be lifted up onto the jacks, right? And then he could go again.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like, but this is what I was gonna do, just stop go, pretty much.
Yeah, so basically just.
I think you have to add like 1 liter or something for it to actually count, or
yeah,
something
okay.
like that.
Okay, yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see. So we do see Nate Grew that it's also came into the pit, so he's already elected to his second pit stop. I don't necessarily know if he had an incident somewhere which he had to pit for, but he could have also just taken the remaining fuel he needed and then.
He's weaving as he goes down the pit.
Yep.
Getting his tyres warm.
So we're assuming a full tire change and
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
the rest of his fuel for Nate Grew. Yeah, Wansink still in the pit there. Heading out of his pit box now, still has that really long run towards where you can actually disengage the pit limiter. Yeah, but I mean, Bossele definitely the one to watch right now because he's just getting faster and faster, it seems. Now to the 19 flat, so.
He's still quite far away from Aronsman now.
Yeah, 30 odd seconds, but I do think he's gained about 3 seconds in the last 3 laps, so.
Oh wow.
It's definitely in the challenge, but
yeah,
again, we do have to wait for Arnsman to make his second pit stop to see how much of a difference that would make. Yeah, at this rate, I think we almost need to see Arnsman pit actually, because he is starting to lose quite a bit of time, it seems. His last lap being a 21.7.
I can keep an eye on him.
Sure. Or the rest.
Yeah, he's doing 21s at the moment.
And no real battles going on at the moment, I think. But yeah, so far Nate Grew the only one that actually has 2 pit stops. I think that was Nicolas Bossele overtaking Norton there. Norton's still hanging on, even though he's a bit behind now. Justin Dawes also doing a really good job. Oh, at some point, it does seem like we lost Hawa as well, Rabbi Hawa.
Yeah.
He must have had an incident somewhere. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Bossele does with his second pit stop as well, because, I mean, I think we assume Arnsman is gonna take tires. And let's say Nicholas only has to take a little bit of fuel, then, you know, you might see a really close battle towards the end.
Yeah, I think Arnsman, if he's going to be doing the opposite way around, like taking tires for his second stop, so he's going to be super quick at the end of the race.
Yeah. I mean, I hope for him that's actually the case as well. Because
yeah. I'm just watching him at the moment. It doesn't look like there's anything particularly wrong with his car. Maybe it's just a lack of just overall grip. Just gonna see what his lap time is at the end of this. It looks like a fairly decent lap at the moment. Not sure, maybe the temperature is starting to rise as well throughout this race.
yeah, it has been. So I think we started at around 24 degrees. We've now actually gone up by about 3 degrees. So the sun being on the track definitely coming into play now. So,
yeah, so you just did a low 20, so...
Yeah, so definitely dropping down again, probably getting on a lower fuel load as well, so that's probably helping him out a bit. Zoom Bossele's lap will be a bit slower here since he had to overtake some traffic, but still very decent. Even with overtaking traffic, Bossele still manages to put in a 19.7, so yeah, just overall solid pace. Yeah, I didn't know if you saw it yet, Marcus, but you know Colin Tuck from Priory Racing?
Yeah.
They've changed their team name now.
Oh yes, I did see that, yeah.
So yeah, they're going to Danger Dogs now, which is a reference to a for the community from IL2 Sturmovik. It's a like a World War II kind of playing simulator. Like plane combat simulator.
Not heard of that.
Apparently they couldn't quite get the funding anymore from the Priory now that that Vincent has left. So, but they are working on a fully custom livery as well for next season. So.
Oh, amazing! I'm excited for that. I'm gonna start working on a custom livery for myself as well.
Yeah, hopefully with a lot of new people and having that 2-3 week break at least, we'll see a lot of people actually getting their skins in for the start of the season, and it's gonna be good to see like a whole like a big and diverse field with regards to the skins. That'll definitely be like good, very good for the broadcast as well, to be looking at some unique cars.
Custom skins look awesome.
Which ones does?
Well, I said custom skins look awesome.
Oh, custom skins, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Arnsman looks to be struggling more in the low speed stuff. Very oversteery on the exits, very understeery on the entry.
Yeah.
I think that's just down to tyre life. Mainly.
Yeah, I mean, we see now Bossele only 28.7 seconds behind still, so I don't know, Arnsman is definitely losing quite a bit of time at the moment. running this long on these tires. Obviously, we'll have to see what Bossele does for the pit, but in the last lap he did gain again almost a full second, about 9/10. So when I think Arnsman really has to consider pitting, because I think he'll just be losing time from this point onwards. Oh, the second we see, second and third person we saw him coming in for the pits are now Kryptonite and Tuck, both making all their pit stops so far. So
yeah, there's not too many battles on track at the moment. It's all very time based.
yeah, it's yeah, I've had quite a bit of dropouts so far. So
Yeah, I think 5 people. We started with 20, did we?
yeah,
20, so.
yeah, a bit unfortunate, especially for a endurance. But
Yeah, I didn't realise iRacing 24 hours of Le Mans was on this weekend as well.
yeah,
So we've lost a few of the regulars there.
I mean, I still manage my schedule around it because I'm also competing in it. So I just put my stints at some other point.
Are you at the Pineapple?
Yeah, we're in the Ford GTE.
Oh, nice.
I mean, last time when I left the car, we were in P2, so maybe we can keep that up.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it was a bit of a hassle because I think I got done with my stint about half an hour before the broadcast, so I have to be really fast to, you know, quickly grab some food, get the stream all ready to go. Well, it was a bit intense, but yeah. I don't think I'll be driving anymore until tomorrow anyway, so. Yep. Again, Nicolas Bossele took another second out of Arnsman. So with every lap, he's coming closer and closer. And Arnsman was, I mean, there is going to be a point at which his pit stop is going to be ideal, you must think, because if he does it too late, then he's going to have lost out on a bunch of time, I think, on the fresh tires. And that may be what's starting to happen here a little bit. Yeah, Jordan 1 Sync still running pretty good. I think he does have the pace to put in faster laps than Nergish, but at the moment he can't put them in consistently. We do see now though, Nergish actually right up to the back of Layson. Big battle between these two, about an hour and 10 in. Nergish actually really fast on the straight there with his Lexus. See here as they go into the bus stop. I don't think Nergish is quite close enough. So yeah, he won't make anything work there. Really, Oh, okay, so Layson deciding to come in for a second pit stop. In the meanwhile, anyone else come in? Oh, Arnsman actually now coming into the pit. Gonna be a big thing here. I assume he will fit new tires. So that'll definitely come into play, and we'll see him probably push out quite a bit of pace there. And Nergesh actually overtaken Layson, but Layson going in for a second pit, so we'll have to see once Bolland goes in. We'll have to see how those two match up, but Bolland definitely was looking on a mission there to overtake Layson. And the question will also now be how long Beausoleil is going to run on this stint here. Gonna take any more tires? I don't assume he will be, so that'll make the battle even closer between him and Arnsman. So that's a very quick pit stop from Arnsman. That's interesting. That did seem like a very quick pit stop, so did he only take fuel there? Really not. Okay, that'll be interesting to see, but I don't think he did take tires there, so it become actually a really close battle between Beausoleil. So Layson's still in the pit. Nergesh still running around. There's the back. Dustin Dawes still having the pit. Fassbender still has the pit. Howard still has the pit. Ford, Elms, Harvey. The top three at the moment still needs the pit. So interesting to see. Even more interesting to see is Nicolas Beausoleil, who's actually now looking at a 2/10 improvement from his last lap. So far, at least into the lap. But man, he is looking really quick right now. And is actually, I think, the only one at the moment that has a chance of challenging Beausoleil. Ooh, disaster for Layson actually getting a drive-through now. Layson with a drive-through, this surely must be for track limits, which will add quite a bit of seconds onto his total time in the race here, because man, the pit is really long here. So yeah, the pit road is gonna be really long, so I think that's, I don't want to say, but it'd be like 60 seconds, that is, if you have to go through pit road, I'm pretty sure. See how that plays out for him, but definitely a massive time loss here for Layson. That'll see him drop back quite a bit. Meanwhile, Beausoleil still putting in fast laps. Running into some traffic now, though. So that'll hold him up quite a bit, but manages to navigate himself pretty well through there. Yeah, Beausoleil really doing a good job. Very decisive with his moves on traffic, so that's what we'd like to see. In front of him there we see Layson together with Andy Howard, I believe. But Layson will surely have to come into the pit. He does have about 3 laps to serve the penalty, but might want to do it sooner rather than later. So he comes in here. Yes, he does. So Layson is going to come in for his drive-through. Gonna cost him loads of time. See how Beausoleil's last lap is. So a 20.2 did have to manage some traffic. We see Dustin Dawes there exiting the pits as well. Or not quite exiting, but running up pit road. So he's doing very well to hold in there. Yeah, so Layson, see where that drive-through is gonna put him. Let's see how long it actually takes. It said 50 to 60 seconds, that's what I thought. So see how long it actually takes. Oh, doesn't even take longer. Man, the drive-thru is really brutal here. Not gonna be like a minute and 10 at least. Get out is there. Let's see how much time he lost there. That's at least a minute lost there for Lazon. Actually allows one sink through there. Now gonna filter out in 10th position, so Lazon all the way from being 3rd before his pit stop to 10th after his drive-through. Really unfortunate for him, but I'm sure we'll see him pushing hard throughout the race. You know, Arnsman. Yeah, so Arnsman really pushing the pace now here. So low 19s. Definitely. He must have taken tires down with the second pit stop. Now he's actually starting to put in his top pace here. He's actually improving his lap so far. So yeah. Don't know if Beausoleil has quite the pace then to keep up with Arnsman, but it'll be interesting to see once he pits. And but Beausoleil is still getting faster, 18.9 now for Beausoleil. Close to his, well, very close actually, half a tenth from his best time. Yeah, Arnsman really starting to push now as well, and Arnsman actually also looking to break into the 18th, so he's definitely put on some new tires and looking to get some fast running on a bit of a lower fuel load. Let's hope he did calculate his fuel load and stuff correct this time so that he doesn't run out on the last lap. That was a bit of a scary moment. It was a bit shaky there. "40 minutes to go. Okay, so now we have Bal and Nergish also in the pit. One sink still has to come in, Beausoleil still has to come in, Harvey, Elms, Ford, and then Howard. Harvey now deciding to also come into the pit. A lot of people pitting late here for a really fast last stint, I think. Nergish out of the pit. We'll have to see now when one sink and Beausoleil make their pit stops. Yeah, Arnsman pushing hard already. Arnsman at the moment is about a minute or so, a bit more than a minute behind Beausoleil. So we do know pit road takes about a minute to get through. And Beausoleil still has to splash, I assume, at least. So he'll definitely come out behind Arnsman, but so far he's gained a lot of time on him, I think.
Yeah, Arnsman's going a lot quicker now.
Yeah, I was mentioning that before, but he has really, he's really gonna put out his fastest stint now. But I was saying Beausoleil did manage to get into the 18s before, a couple laps before here, so definitely keeping Arnsman honest. But I think Beausoleil lost a little bit too much time in the first part of the race to really still challenge Arnsman towards the end here. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are actually waiting really long for their last pit stop.
Oh, Arnsman went very, very deep into this last chicane. He missed it completely.
Yeah, that'll be a big time loss there for Arnsman.
I think he missed his breaking point or something. Maybe he was viewing something else on his
Yeah.
computer or something.
I mean, at this point, we're 1 hour and 23 minutes in, so people might start to show signs of fatigue here.
Yeah,
You know?
we're coming up to our normal endurance time actually, 7 minutes, and we would have been nearly at the end of the race.
Yeah, and that's one of those things I think in our normal endurances where they're 1.5 hours. This is about the point. Those last 10 minutes always seem very sketchy for a lot of people. Where it's just like those lapses in concentration do start to happen.
Yeah,
But,
it was very wobbly at the top of Road Rouge then for Aaron's.
Yeah, so maybe struggling a little bit here, but
I think he's pushing very hard.
yeah, so interesting to see how didn't lose too much there, only about 3 or so seconds, I think, 3-4 seconds, so not too bad, but it could have been much worse.
Yeah, at least he didn't hit anything, or it was just a nice bit of runoff just to make sure you get back on track. So
yeah, because looking at the angle that he did rejoin the track, he was quite far into the runoff.
yeah.
Good for him that he didn't damage anything or didn't have to reverse out of there. And so far, Bottas still not electing to pit. One sync also still out. I think it was supposed to be pretty close between Nergish and one sync before they pitted, but obviously Nergish is pitting now, so it's kind of just waiting till everyone makes their pit stop here to see how close everyone is or how far apart they are.
Yeah, maybe one sync's going to be doing the stop and go kind of stop, and gain time that way, not following the normal trend of the fuel and tires or kind of stuff in every 40 minutes or so.
What would be really interesting for me is to see if there was eventually a way maybe to see if people actually have off tracks and such already, like warnings.
Yeah, that would be nice to know.
Because then at least like maybe at some point in the race when someone's slowing down they might be being cautious for their off tracks or something, but then at least we would know about it.
Yeah, that is true. Is that a kind of system that's in iRacing? Can you see how many X's they have?
Yeah.
Other teams? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you're a steward,
Yeah,
you can see that. So yeah, just something simple that would just say like, warnings
think,
and then X.
I think maybe there's something in the server logs or something that tracks this kind of stuff that you could probably find, but I don't actually know anything about it.
Yeah. Oh, so Beausoleil now coming into the pit, so it'll be interesting to see how long he spends in there. I do know now that running through pit road takes about a full minute, like running through the pit road without stopping, so...
Okay.
Because, yeah, something else that you might have missed is that Layson actually got a drive-through for track limits.
Oh, no.
So he's dropped back quite a bit. I think he was in 4th, and
that's not good.
actually dropped back quite a bit. So Arnsman coming around the last.
I think it might be a little bit closer than you think. He's on his way out, Beausoleil.
Yeah. You gotta keep in mind it's still about 20 or so
Yeah,
seconds until he
true.
exits, so... But regardless, I think Beausoleil did a really good effort, getting closer there. Yeah, so now there's still about 15-20 seconds until he exits.
Damn this pit lane.
Yeah.
But it's what they use in real life, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you get a drive through here, that's really, race ruined. Like,
yeah. I don't think he changed tires. It seemed to be quite a quick stop, I think.
yeah. You know, if you compare it to somewhere like Monza or whatever, where the pit is really short, then
Yeah.
you get a drive through here, that's really a big hit. But yeah, last lap for Arnsman was a 19.5. We have seen also led before he pitted that he could be faster, but the interesting thing now on a heavier fuel load is gonna be if he can actually keep that pace up. So only 2 of our drivers still having the pit, Wansink and Howard. Also interesting to see. Yeah, Wansink I think will drop back quite a bit. He'll still be around that 4th, 5th position-ish, depending on how good he does his pit stop and how much fuel he needs.
Oh, I think Kryptonite's just had a big crash. He's got very bad damage on the rear. His wheel is like stuck, and he's leaving tire marks on my screen.
Oh yeah, he's deciding to go off-road even to just not be in anyone's way. So, I mean, at least he recognizes that. Oh yeah, he can barely turn his car anymore. Oh, trying to get into the pits here.
Yeah, he's leaving a trail of
yeah, that suspension
tire.
is...
Yeah, suspension damage is severe.
Yeah, so I get into the pits here. I mean, it even seems almost like his engine is cutting out a bit. Really slow in the pit here. A bit unfortunate, but hopefully we'll see him continue after he gets his car fixed. I don't actually know. Do you have any clue how, like, if you, like, have you ever maybe done like an experiment or something to see how long it takes for a car, like the maximum repair time or something, if you really like smash it up?
No, I haven't actually. I know, yeah, it can go up like minutes.
Yeah.
A couple of minutes. I'm not sure like what the limit is though.
It does seem that he's staying in the service, so I do think he'll repair all the damage and keep going. So that's good to see at least. So far, Jordan Wansink still in the lead, but obviously still has to pit as well with 29 minutes to go. Here, if he comes into the pits next time around. Andy Howard also one of those still has to pit. So yeah, Jordan Wansink coming in. Yep.
I'm intrigued to see what he does.
Yeah, we'll follow him here through the pit lane real quick. If he's actually longer, if he's literally just going to be lifted up onto the jacks and go again, or has another plan.
If he wants to try and get a podium, I think that's the only thing he can do.
So let's see here. Tops in the box.
No, I think it's a longer one.
Yeah.
He must be changing tires.
Yep. Must be fuel actually, because I think that was a bit too short for tires.
Yeah, I agree actually.
So must have just done a splash then to get to the end, where he comes out. Right behind Kryptonite there.
I mean, Kryptonite's repaired.
Yeah. Well, that's good at least to see him getting back out onto the track. Gunsink will obviously try to get past him as soon as possible. The only remaining person to pit now is Andy Howard, who's actually going really long here before his last pit stop.
Yeah, quite a few Porsches this race.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, so Beausoleil now slightly slower it seems than Arnsman, but man, it would have been interesting to see if Beausoleil had that pace from the start, where he wasn't because I think he was held up a bit fighting there with who was it, Layson and Lunsink, I believe. At some point, it would have been interesting to see if he maybe could have gotten clear a bit sooner. What he might have done.
Oh, yeah. So Gru, who was also looking quite strong to start with, is down in P4 at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. So Gru and also a newcomer, Nate Gru, definitely doing a solid job here, and it's only he's about 6 seconds ahead. No, 3 seconds ahead of Jordan Lunsink, who I think Lunsink will be trying to chase him down, and then Gru is also only about 6 seconds behind Nergish, and looking slightly faster at the moment.
Looking very oversteery his car at the moment. I'm on board with him. Its rear is stepping out a lot.
Yeah, so I think Gru was one of the people that pitted a bit earlier, so he'll definitely be on
he's
some
run out of tires.
Yeah, some worn tires at the moment. But, you know, as we're talking now, again we see Nicolas Beausoleil really, I mean, he can pull those laps off. 18.9 last lap.
Oh wow.
Arnsman about a second, well, almost exactly a second slower, so...
Yeah, it's still 25 minutes.
Yeah. At about a second a lap, he wouldn't catch up all the way, but I mean, yeah, definitely a good effort from Beausoleil today. So let's say Arnsman wins this race, and I pull him into the commentaries box. Are you guys gonna have a fight, or how's it gonna go?
Nah, never fight.
I mean, I'll pay you. But yeah, Nate Gru actually, that's a battle we might see developing here soon. Nate Gru between Nergish, because Nate Gru putting in, no, not that much, but 3, 4, 5 tenths a lap. It only takes a small mistake from Nergish for Gru to catch up. The Lunsink now about 4 seconds behind Gru, who's also putting in quite good pace at the moment, I think. Let's see him catching up. Obviously.
Elms is only 9 tenths behind Layson as well. For P9. Or P8, sorry.
Layson did get that drive through, so he's looking to catch up to Arby and such as well, but he actually just, I think Layson actually just overtook Elms there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Layson is trying to salvage as much as he can from this race anymore after his drive through. So Arnsman's last lap again at 20.7 because Beausoleil about 1.2 seconds faster. He's almost within 20 seconds now. Means he's gonna have to gain about 2 seconds a lap at this point. Have any chance? So Andy Howard still yet to make his pit stop. Just doing his thing. Holding on in there. Interesting to see what he still needs to do because either way he's not gonna need much fuel anymore to complete the race.
Interesting that we've not had any rain as well. The variability is on this race. And Spa usually throws in some crazy weather, but
yeah, it looks like
seems
it's
to be cloudy out.
a very clear morning, the sun out and everything. So that would have really, I think, thrown a spanner in the works for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you know, it always makes for an interesting race with a variability in it.
Yeah, so it looks like Aronsman is just trying to bring this home. Still got a very comfortable gap, 20 seconds.
Yeah, like I said, I think Beausoleil at this point needs like 2 seconds a lap, which seems very unlikely at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I think would have been interesting to see if Beausoleil just qualified a little bit better. And it just
Yeah, it might have been a lot closer.
yeah, because he has been. I mean, before the pit stops, he was 33 seconds behind, and now he's only 20 seconds behind. So you know, can't
Yeah.
see how much time he has actually made on Aronsman.
That's true.
But you know, we got to keep in mind that Aronsman has been running in clean air almost the entire race.
Yeah.
So yeah, Beausoleil really good effort. So,
Yeah, he was caught in that battle for P3 for a lot of the time.
yeah, he
I
did.
knew the first half of the race, so
Yep, he did lose a lot of time in that, it seemed, because it also seemed like as soon as he pulled in front of, I think it was Nergish and Wansink, if I'm not mistaken.
no, Leishon, no.
Oh, Layson, yeah. But yeah, as soon as he had the position, he pulled away quite quickly as well from them. So he was really initially he was struggling to get past, but once he got past, he did really start to pick up his pace. And we have Fassbender here on our screen, also just running his own race, kind of under the radar, not really too much going on. I do think now we have sure, but I do think we have a fight here between Adam Norton in 13th and Dustin Dawes in 14th here. Dustin Dawes here. Crawling. Ooh! Dustin Dawes gets it completely wrong there. Before the bus stop in the fast left-hander. And he goes instantly to the pits. Oh man. Seems like he almost...
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, it seems like he almost should have just tried to make it to the pit and try to repair his car, but he just instantly went for the pits. So very unfortunate for Dustin here. With only 15 minutes to go. No real battles at the moment anymore, so we'll just go follow our leader around for a little bit.
It's nice to see Aronsman slowly build up his pace. Like at the start of the season, he was battling with a few of the top guys around like P3, 4, 5, and slowly he's really come on pace, really strong to fight in the top.
Yeah, exactly. And there was also a couple of times where he, I think has it been twice now where he ran a bit short on fuel. I think there was one time where he fully ran out, and then the second time where he pitted to get more fuel. So
yeah, there was a few occasions where I guess his pace was hidden. I think the first time I realized he was a quick guy was Paul Ricard when we were fighting at the start of the race, and I knew he was going to be one to watch. So. And that was true at Suzuka when he was right up my arse for the whole first half of the race.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think we've had a true battle on track yet.
No, there's always seems to be something that always comes in between it.
Yeah.
So far, like, I think it's been mostly the pit stops that have kind of separated you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, on track, I don't think we've ever really seen a big battle between you guys.
Oh, apart from Barcelona last race, the first, I guess.
Yeah, like the first 10-15 minutes. I
Battle
think.
with Vincent as well.
Yeah. That was actually, I think, one of the most enjoyable battles so far to watch this season because
Yeah,
it was
it
really
was
at the
the most
top.
enjoyable.
Everyone just fighting for it. So that was
Yeah, it was awesome to be in it as well.
yeah. And that was the only race with Vincent where he didn't actually pull away that far from everyone else.
Until it sort of got to the second stint.
Yeah.
I felt my car was a lot better on full fuel than his, and as soon as the fuel came down, his came alive a bit more than mine. I think I did my fastest lap with full fuel with new tyres behind them. In the second stint with new tyres and half the fuel, I couldn't go quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things was that at Barcelona, I do think the temperature went up quite a bit during the race, so that might be also a case of I mean, it was already pretty hot at the start, I believe, and then it went up by like another 5-6 degrees, I think, during the race.
Oh wow. Yeah, Barcelona is a killer.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite tracks, so I love it. Apart from the final chicane, but yeah, you just gotta get used to it and know how to drive it. You can gain a lot of time there, so.
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, a lot of people have already criticized the track for it, and I mean, it's quite fair. It's kind of it's a nice section when you hook it up on your own, but it really doesn't allow like very good
racing.
like overtakes and racing overall. That third sector, while the rest of the track is really good for battling.
Yeah,
but it's just
I
that
love
last
it.
sector.
There's so many different lines and stuff you can take around the rest of the track.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like, you know, it's already bad in GT3s, but you know, F1 cars go around that there as well, and they're in that last sector. It's really, those cars are super wide, so like insane.
Yeah, it's just follow the leader through there pretty much. You just can't do anything. It's too risky to do anything there.
Yeah, there has been a lot of people that have asked like for that last sector to be changed or whatever to accommodate some better racing.
Just not as tight, maybe a lot wider. I don't know.
Yeah,
it would be a lot better.
I think the original, I think the older track actually skipped that whole chicane thing, and it made like, it were basically like 2 fast corners.
Yeah, I remember.
Before that, and a lot of people seem to prefer that, which I think.
I don't know why they can't use that for GT3 though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the runoff's like, but it's nowhere near as fast as an F1 car. I can understand F1 because of the speeds, but
yeah. I mean, regardless of Arsman performance here, which has been really good, Bosselin now only 14 seconds behind, so yeah.
Oh, he's giving it a good go.
Yeah, it could have been a really close battle between the two.
Yeah, for sure. If he could have nailed his quali and not been caught up in that battle at the start, he would have for sure been a threat for the win here.
Obviously a very long race for all our drivers.
Yeah,
I think
last 8 minutes.
That's also coming into play for Arnsman, and they've now had a couple of off laps, I think, so far. Really
I mean, just to finish the race is a challenge in itself. Spa is one of those tracks you make a mistake and you're in the barrier, you destroy it pretty much.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of corners that can kill you, so you got to be on it.
Yep. Exactly.
But that's why we love Spa. And tracks like Bar first.
Yeah, I mean, Spa being my home country for Belgium, I think I have to make it my favorite track. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel it's like a good mix of like I mean, obviously it's quite a fast track, but I think it has like a good mix of just like, you know, all out power on the straights, but then you have like obviously
that's for sure.
over
Yeah, a lot of high speed stuff. You still need some downforce for sure.
Yep. And then you have that very technical middle sector where you really need to nail all those apexes to have a good time, and yeah. And then all the elevation changes, of course, really make it like a complete package. You see Jordan One Sink here slowly creeping up to Nate Grew. That might be a battle towards the end here. About 2.5 seconds between the two, so I'd see them have a little scrap towards the end if One Sink can get close enough. Yeah, looks like Dustin Dawes has elected to not go out on the track anymore. Maybe fatigue did set in a little bit for him. Yeah, so One Sink looked like he was closing up, but I don't seem to have quite enough to catch up to Grew towards the end here, I think. We'll keep an eye on him.
Yeah, so we've only had 5 people dropped out in total so far. Well, there's only, what, 4 minutes left now. I don't think anyone's going to drop now.
Yeah.
In certain parts of the track, it's very like dark and very shadowed.
Yeah.
See, being in the middle of a forest, it would get dark in some places.
Yeah. Assume the track temperature is also quite a bit lower on those parts where you have like the shadow from the forest. You see we're at about 28 degrees Celsius now, so a bit go up by about 4 or 5 degrees, I think. During the race. So Thomas Arensman starting the second to last lap. One Sink now within 2 seconds of Nate grew, he will have to have 2 more super laps to be able to attack him. .2 seconds now between Gru and Wansink. So this is gonna come down to the last lap because they have 2 more laps, including this one. So we might see a really good battle here towards the end.
Yeah, Wansing's getting close. Is this their final lap, or
Nope, one more.
One more after this? He's got a chance then.
Yep, very much so. The Arsman is just gonna round out. He's gonna start the last lap here. So
Okay, the leader is on
there we go.
now. Give it all you can.
Nice.
Oh yeah, very good chance here still for Jordan Wansink. So has about 1.5 laps here to make it work, but he is see by his driving style that he is really pushing.
Boslet also got the gap down to 11 seconds at the end.
Yeah, he's I mean, yeah, like I said before the pit stops, he was 33 seconds behind, now only 11. So
20 seconds.
yeah, very good effort from him.
He
I mean,
definitely had the pace to win this race.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been incredibly consistent. That's what I've seen. He's always been hovering around those low 19s if he didn't have any traffic. So
Nice.
and insanely consistent. But Wansink there, really close under braking now.
Yeah, he's pushing. He's going for it now.
Yep, definitely.
Final lap.
Less than half a second between the two at this point. And we'll see here Jordan Wansink again closing up under the braking. We'll see if he gets good traction here. And surely if he gets a good run up Rouge and Radion, then he'll have a good shot here to attack Nate.
Yeah, it's a good position. You don't want to be too close going through a Rouge, otherwise you'll suffer from the dirty air.
That looked really good actually. I think Nate didn't have such a good run, and now Wansink with the slipstream.
This is perfect if he can make this.
He has to go for it here.
Is it going to be close? Oh.
Nate defends at the last moment, which is no problem at all. Wansink around the outside. Nate makes a mistake. Wansink in front. Closes off the inside. But Nate is not done with him. I think he's gonna go to the inside. Is he gonna try it? No, not quite. Wansink closes it off, but runs a bit wide now himself. Nate's still chasing. Our leader has finished, but we have to watch this one. So Arnsman wins the race here, but I think Wansink actually got it done. It doesn't seem like Nate can quite come back. Wansink was really pushing the last couple of laps.
He really wanted that.
Yeah, then I mean, really good overtake there from Wansink. He had one shot and he took it right away. So Bosselet in the end also finishing only 10.5 seconds behind Arnsman, so really well well done from him, and if only he qualified a little bit higher, then we would have seen a nice fight for the lead, I'm sure. But now OneSync, yeah, completely pulling away from Brew.
Yeah, I think Gru's run out of tyres.
Yeah.
And OneSync just had much more grip.
So, also someone to notice here, Balint Nergesh. He's gonna come across the line now, so I think that will be his first podium, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll be really happy, flashing his lights, weaving.
Yeah, he came back from quite far, I think.
Yeah.
He didn't qualify that too high. He's always come good in the race.
Yeah, so then really well done from Jordan OneSync. Also Nate Grew, newcomer, top 5, so really well done. Nice little fight at the end there. For the rest, pretty much everyone has finished. We're still waiting for Howard there. Now coming across the line with his Pixel Cow livery. And then the last person would be Dustin Dawes, but he's already in the pits, so yeah, really good race. Surprising we saw the battle there at the end still. It literally came down to the last lap. So I think we'll
try and get Aronsman in for an interview?
Yeah, I think Aronsman and then OneSync. So gotta get him in here. Second. Yep. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, good evening.
So, a win in the 2-hour race?
Pretty solid. Definitely the first stint was pretty good. Managed to get myself a gap after the pit stop and bring it home in the second.
Yeah, it did look. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it did seem like towards the end you were struggling a bit. Maybe fatigue, maybe the tires going off. I don't know, but your times did drop back a little bit there towards the end. So, how did you feel after those 2 hours?
Yeah, of course my times dropped a bit. I also had 3 warnings, so I just wanted to take it home as safe as possible and not throw it away in the last couple of minutes after a 2-hour race. But it was a lot of fun, so I.
Yeah, obviously, very well deserved anyway, and we'll let you get some rest now.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations. I think you won the championship with that win.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I even forgot
because
the
of
match.
the double.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the double points. Yeah, so you take the championship.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
So,
Very
well,
much.
your first championship then here for PCDC, and I assume we'll see you next season as well.
Yeah, probably. I really liked the season and everyone involved. All the drivers were very nice and clean, so it was definitely a good first season.
All right. So, yeah, very well done. Congratulations on the race win, and then in the end also the championship. And we'll see you next season.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening.
Cool. All right. Let's see if we can get OneSync in.
Yep.
So, Jordan.
Yes.
That was very tense towards the end there.
Yeah, that was for sure.
Nice to see you pull off that overtake literally in the last lap. Literally came down to the last lap.
Yeah, I was pushing like crazy for the last 15 minutes at least, just to be there.
Yeah, I was mentioning it in the stream. It really looked like you were pushing hard, looking at your driving style.
Yeah, I was.
But yeah, it was really nice to see actually that that little battle between you and was it again Nate, right? Nate Grew. Yeah, Nate Grew. But
yeah, it looked like you were struggling with tires a lot, and you had a lot more grip. So
yeah, it was actually out of the pit in my last pit stop. I was already trying to push. It was like 5 seconds, but for like 25 minutes, I just couldn't catch him. And then I suddenly started closing in again, and then I started pushing like just I went for it.
It certainly paid off.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So how did you feel about the 2-hour race? Because surely it must have been quite exhausting.
Yeah, but yeah, it definitely was. I haven't raced for a while, so it was double. But yeah, it was fun to be back, for sure.
All right. Well, congratulations on your good finish there at the end, and we'll see you for next
Yeah,
season.
thanks. Yes.
All right. I think with that being said, this has been the PCDC ACC League finale. So this was the last round here with the 2 hours.
Yeah, it's been a great season.
Yeah, it's been a good season. We've had a lot of new faces, and should you be watching the stream or later on, this will obviously be posted to YouTube. If you should be watching us on YouTube, make sure to go to www.pcdc.link. You'll be redirected to our Discord. You'll find all the information you need to join our league. We're welcome to drivers from all skill levels, as long as you can keep the car safely on the track. And you can also take a look at our Twitter, twitter.com/PCDC Motorsports, for updates on what we're up to. And then all there is to say is we'll take a small break here of a couple of weeks, and then we'll come back with a new and even better season. So we will see you in a couple of weeks. Goodbye.
Goodbye.